October. The days are ticking by, and looks like we're going to have a few more boats over the equator today sometime. But before we go there, let's look at the leaderboard. Simon's still in the lead, and then Kirsten's now in second position, Tapio and Abelish, and they're split by about 100 nautical miles, near enough, or a bit less, maybe 80 miles, between the tail enders of this lead group and Simon. So that's kind of cool. We'll get rid of that. And before we get into the individual bits, we'll just follow the weather generally. So this is the weather now, and you can see still a little bit patchy through here, but generally the trades have now come up and the doldrums have sort of disappeared. There's a breeze through the whole lot. Nord's not going to be happy back there, but so be it. And if we come forward 24 hours around about here, you can see there's a distinct line of the trades now coming up to meet the rest of the fleet. So it looks as if everyone, maybe except Elliot, may get through to this band and keep riding the trades. Certainly Ayrton's moving again. He called us yesterday, very frustrated about what's going on. So anyway, so that's 1 day ahead. If we go 2 days ahead, around about here, you can see it starting to open up, but these guys should be down below it by then. So they should all be by the end of today or early tomorrow morning getting breeze. I think Guy will still be in light airs. These guys back here in light airs. Elliot's going to get light headwinds, which is frustrating, but he still hopefully will keep moving. And then if we carry it on a bit further, another day on the 10th, it's 3 days from now, back about there, and by then all of these boats should be into the trades. Arnaud will probably be going across this light patch again. Elliot should be getting a breeze, so he'll be able to take off, and it's looking okay. So the end is in sight for most of them. So we'll go back there to current weather today and look at what's happening. As I predicted yesterday, Abelish now is on a roll. He's absolutely in the trades, and he's in a better position because he's to windward, and so he can afford to pay off a little bit as he's heading down this way towards Trinidad. Kirsten, on the other hand, today she's going to be a bit light. She's doing 6 knots at the moment, but it's suggesting a bit of a light breeze. She's got a big kite up, probably going for it. It's just forward of the beam, the wind, but she's going to have to start to head up eventually. Otherwise, on this sort of angle, she's going to come across to the coast. So she's going to lose a bit of speed there, maybe, because these trade winds will pick up in strength as well. So she'll be close reaching with both her head sails up and a full main and going for it, which is pretty impressive. Abelish, on the other hand, has got a bit better slant, maybe can still run a shy kite or something, but he'll be going for it as well. So that'll be interesting to watch. But I reckon if it was boat for boat, similar boats, Abelish is in a commanding position and he'll go round behind Simon, all things being equal. But it's not, because Kirsten's got a pretty cool boat, top sailor. They're both top sailors, so let's see. Meanwhile, in the middle, Tapio and Pat, who were chasing each other big time yesterday, are both side by side still, relatively. Pat's a little bit behind, and Pat's going a bit faster. He's doing 5 knots. Tapio's doing 4.9. So that's going to be fun to watch, because they're both good sailors, and I think the breeze generally will be consistent for the next 24 hours for these guys. Similar, I mean. So they'll both be getting similar winds, so it'll be fun to watch that little boat race there. So that's kind of cool. Benabatesi, of course, charging ahead towards Trinidad to drop off his messages. Anyway, Ayrton, as I said, he was very frustrated yesterday. He broke a couple of battens, the sails just slatting around. He was saying that he didn't want to drop the sails because then he'd be going nowhere. He had no idea where the trades were going to be, but at least now he's moving at 5.3. Interesting course he's got there, because it's suggesting that he's not getting this wind direction, because you can't sail straight into the wind. So, but at least he's moving, so he'll be happy about that. He was very annoyed yesterday. Get rid of that. Boom. Okay. Captain Goog 5.6, Damien 6.6. So Captain Goog did pretty well yesterday. It's suggesting there's a light patch, but obviously you don't get no wind and sail at those speeds. So they've got enough breeze to keep going. Same with Damien, and Jeremy behind, having removed his barnacles. We were really surprised to hear that story. I don't know whether you've seen his sound cloud at the moment, jumped over the side, wondered why the boat was going a bit slow, and 70% of the hull was covered in small 2 centimetre long goose barnacles, which really shocked him, and us as well, because just over 2 weeks ago, there was nothing there. So that's obviously the zone where the barnacles are latching on for the ride. He's got copper coat anti-fouling, and by that recollection, I would suggest that there is probably more barnacles on more hulls, and maybe the other entrants don't even know yet. So that's very interesting. Anyway, Ian Herbert Jones, 3.5, still chugging along. And Guy Waits, 2.8, not looking good for him. I think if this holds true, no wind, he's going to be slow for a while, and he might have challenges getting across this slot, because if we look at the weather as I did before, in another 24 hours, it's suggesting he's up there, so that's okay. He should be able to keep up with it. There was something like a little hole there. Yeah, he'll be ahead of it before then, so not too bad. So Guy should still be in the hunt. And Elliot, yeah, he's 4.1 knots, so he's okay. And at the back of the fleet, Arnaud got a bit of soft patch, 3.8, but he's plodding along and he'll get there. So the split on the fleet at the moment, let's go, everyone's interested in what's happening with Damien's efforts to capture the lead. Let's see what happened. I'll get it a bit closer to his real position there and put it on the bow. 438 miles, so hasn't gained much yesterday. Obviously Simon's roaring ahead now, he's in the trades, and Damien's still got challenges back there, so all very interesting stuff. Anyway, we'll just have a look for just for the heck of it, just to see what's happening here with currents. We haven't looked at that for a long time. Wow, there's some big one. This is the start of the Gulf Stream sort of thing going up here, or maybe a long way to go. No, I shouldn't say that, but there's some big currents here, you can see. Favourable currents there, that's about half a knot. These guys are a bit average, but generally heading in the same direction. Yeah, I know it might get a bit of a head current, and yeah, all pretty straightforward going down the lot there. So waves, nothing to report, all very mild, metre and a half, maybe 2 metres at times. Very confused. A lot of them are even saying now they've got breeze. It's still very confused sea state, because of they're not deep into the trades. Once they get deep in, the sea tends to settle down a bit. The other thing I'll just look at now, I was seeing it before, let's have a look at the Southern Ocean, where they're going. They're only going to be a couple of weeks away from this part of the world, and if we follow this through, you'll see what's happening. It's very dynamic down there at the moment. Lots of heavy winds down there. This is the whole new reality for everyone coming through. That's a big hole. I don't want to see that. But if we look across here, yeah, there's some. Well, it's not bad. Actually, it seems as if it's changed a bit from when I last looked. But anyway, this is going to be their next challenging areas, which we discussed yesterday. Okay, that's about it. Thanks very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good weekend. Ooh, weekend's coming.